You know, we got to be careful, and I appreciate and respect the question. I understand that many people really want to have a strong reverence for the house of God, and they really want a sense of bringing things into what they might feel as a holy state of mind or approach. But I want you to understand this, that Jesus walked dirty, dusty roads, around dirty, dusty people, around nasty animals. He had to take a bath in a river like an old country boy might in these days. He dressed like the people around him to a certain degree, though I agree he was a Jew and he is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, yet he became like us that we could become like him. Am I going to tell you it's right or wrong to use a horse, a donkey, a dog, a kitten, cat, or a bird to express a point that you're trying to make relevant to the congregation? Let me say this to you. All of us men sitting here are dirt balls, and some of us are better looking dirt balls than others, and the darker the dirt, the better the dirt. I learned that growing up on a farm. But let me say this to you, that nonetheless, the people that present the gospel were just dirt balls, but we have God breathe into us this calling, this ministry, and this purpose. And Paul said, I become all things to all people that I may win them to Christ. Now, Paul was a stinky man. You got to understand about tent making and how nasty that career was. You smelled bad if you was a tent maker, yet you know what? People could have said, well, you smell too nasty to preach the gospel, or you were this or you were that, and I don't think you ought to preach it this way. I don't think you ought to use this illustration. Let me say this to you. When you're listening to people preach the gospel, don't look at the suit or the tie or the dress or the shoes or the slacks. Don't look at the length of the hair or the body weight. Gold in this earth comes through dirt, and we are walking dirt balls. But there is a gold. There's the most valuable thing in the world in us called salvation through Jesus Christ. And so listen to the word that's being ministered, the reason it's being released from inside the dirt man, from the gold that comes from his spirit to reach your spirit. And don't look so much at the things that don't matter.
Right.
I'll say something.
Pastor House.
Jesus was an illustrator.
Right.
Jesus used plenty of illustrations in his parables. Yeah. If you go through any of the Gospels, and especially John and Matthew, and you look at his illustrations, how he compared things. So what I think that you're talking about is church culture, and I think you have to look at a pastor's style, the church culture in which he's in. Whether it's a city culture or a country type of culture. You know, I have farmers at my church. I'm not a farmer. But I have to, you know, I do research on different things about farming so I can be able to relate and connect with my people. So Jesus was an illustrator. There's nothing wrong with it. There's, if it becomes unbiblical to a point of using something explicit or something harmful, and that's a whole different story. Because Jesus didn't do that.
Right.
If you liked what you saw, make sure to like that video and comment below. Hit the subscribe button for more content uploaded weekly.